Welcome back to the show, everybody. The final half hour of today's show here of Your Defending Fathers. Got a Facebook comment. Senator Colbeck is absolutely right. Amazon has been offered 20 years of no state income tax for the business in order to get them to come to Detroit. I don't like picking winners and losers, but it's absolute proof positive that eliminating the state income tax is good for business. Brian, I agree with you 100%. I ran on eliminating our state income tax back in 2010. As being part of the Michigan FairTax Association, I am now the state director of operations, and we are vetting these candidates going forward for 2018. If you want to get reelected or elected in 2018, you're going to have to come out publicly and say you are for eliminating Michigan's state income tax. That simple, that blunt. And if you're not going to say it, we will get somebody to primary challenge you in your race, in your August 7th primary, who does support eliminating Michigan's state income tax. And we will work to defeat you to make sure you do not win your election. I am talking about every single Republican and Democrat. This is not going to be limited just to one party. If you are a Democrat and you will not come out and say you are for eliminating Michigan's state income tax, we are going to work to defeat you in your Democrat primary. We are going to be an equal opportunity attacker. And I use that word purposely because we will attack you. We are not playing around this year in 2018 when it comes to getting rid of Michigan's state income tax. From governor to state senators to state representatives, this is going to be our mission very soon. We are putting together funds to get the band back together, to kind of use a quote from Theron. We are going to put the band back together, and we are going on a hunting expedition. We will pursue you like a trophy buck unless you come out publicly and say, like Senator Colbeck has said, he supports eliminating Michigan state income tax, eliminating the tax on seniors' pensions and retirements. If you're not going to do it, it's going to be game on. And our organization is going to hunt for an opponent to defeat you in your primary. Don't worry about the November general election. You're not even going to get out of your primary. So I'm putting everybody on constructive notice right now. That's what we are getting ready to do. We're going to be announcing a major fundraising event that we're going to do in the west part of the state in Grand Rapids area, and we have another one planned for Macomb County. And when we get the money to support our campaign, we will actively start sending out questionnaires to you, these candidates. Bill Schuette, the Attorney General, running for governor. Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley running for governor. We already know where Patrick Colbeck is. Dr. Jim Hines. We're going to send out to every single candidate running for the 38 senators, election or re-election, and every single House member, all 110. It's that important because we have to look at the comments that are coming in. Brian just making the comment about Amazon being offered 20 years of no state income tax, business tax, the flat corporate rate of 6%. We got other comments coming in, Facebook and text messages. I'll pull the other one up here on the text phone. This one from David up here in northern Michigan says, now is the time for Michigan to get more competitive. We need to get more businesses because many will be expanding due to the federal tax bill cut. And if we don't get our act together soon, they'll end up going to other states. You're exactly right. And by us talking about this on this show with Senator Colbeck and getting it out there that this is going to be a mission of the Michigan FairTax Association, we are going to hopefully get some news coverage, get people to understand that Michigan, because of having a new governor come January of 2019, we are going to get rid of our state income tax. Hopefully we can get rid of the 6% corporate business tax. And by doing that, we'll attract more job producers. And this is why. You're a business owner. You're going to end up with 100, 200, 300, 1,000 employees working in your business. They're smart enough to know, folks, that if we don't have a state income tax, their workers end up getting a 4.25% raise in their paychecks, not coming from the employer, but coming from Lansing. That makes us more competitive in the job market, and them being able to pay actually maybe a little bit less, 1%, 2%, because they're getting a 4.25% raise from the state of Michigan. That's all factored into their decisions as to whether or not they're going to come to Michigan and try to get employees to work for them. Again, this isn't rocket science. It's common sense, and it's math. I mean, I'm not even talking about calculus or trigonometry like Senator Colbeck used working on the space station. I'm talking about plus and minuses. If you reduce taxes on employees, that makes your state more competitive. What part about that do these candidates not get? One of them is only talking about lowering it to 3.9. Whoop-de-doo. That's pennies in a paycheck on a Friday. How many people, okay, are listening to these candidates saying they want to take Michigan to the next level? What next level? What have you done for us lately? You've been in public office at a very high level for the past 7 years, and you've done nothing about eliminating our state income tax. I'm talking about our Lieutenant Governor, Brian Calley. I had a personal, direct conversation with him over going on now 4 years ago. State Representative Lee Chatfield, who will probably end up winning his election and being the next Speaker of the House, the three of us standing outside of the Emmett County Republican Party's Lincoln Day dinner. And before the Lieutenant Governor had to head back to Lansing, after coming up and speaking, I asked him for 5 minutes of his time before he left. He was gracious enough to meet with me. State Representative Lee Chatfield, myself, and the Lieutenant Governor, Brian Calley, talked outside the event just before he left the building. I told him almost 4 years ago that we needed to get rid of the state income tax. We needed to get rid of the business tax. Yeah, Randy, I'll look into it. We'll see what we can do. I gave him a detailed plan from Dr. Gary Wolfram, folks, from Hillsdale College, the former economic advisor to then Governor John Engler back in the 90s. I laid it all out for him. The Michigan consumption tax is basically the Michigan FairTax on steroids, version 2.0. And he did nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. Well, now he's running to be the next governor, and he talks about taking Michigan to the next level. Is Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley going to make the same pledge and policy statement that Senator Colbeck has made? That he's going to eliminate the state income tax? Because that needs to go. We cannot compete with these other states. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I can tell you one thing for sure. Attorney General Bill Schuette idea of rolling it back to 3.9 from 4.25 is a spit in the bucket, a drop in the ocean. It will do nothing to attract businesses to come to our state, and it won't help your paycheck on Friday either. These guys are going to be held accountable on this issue, folks, this year. Not just the governors, state senators, and state reps. I'm putting you on constructive notice right here before you go back to Lansing, the Friday before you go back this coming Tuesday. You're going to get on board with this, or we're going to replace you. On this one line item issue is a line in the sand that you are going to have to be on the right side. And if you're not going to get reelected or elected. I'm Chuck and Randy. Final segment of today's show right after a word from our sponsors.
Traverse City resident Glynis Price was warming her home entirely with propane when she bought a WellConnect hybrid heating and cooling system. Now, Price was burning more than 1,000 gallons of propane to heat her home. With WellConnect, Price's propane needs dropped to almost nothing. At her pre-buy fill-up in July, Price was thrilled to learn that she doesn't need any propane, and she now has a credit. Made in Michigan, WellConnect is a realistic solution for rural homeowners looking to save on their heating costs. For people like Glynis Price, that makes living in the country that much better. She now also enjoys cooling in her home, which has been an extra bonus this summer. If your home has a water well, then don't wait to add a WellConnect to your home. Call 989-356-2113 or visit wellconnectsaves.com for more information. Rebates are available in most areas.
Are smart meters really a smart idea? We are Utility Meter Choice for Michigan. We want you to know just what the power companies are up to. With the blessing of our state government, smart meters are digital electric meters being installed across the country by companies like DTE and Consumers Energy without the consent or knowledge of their customers. They produce RF signals to communicate with the smart electric grid so the power companies can monitor our living habits and then sell that data to third-party companies. Smart meters can explode or catch fire, and the effects of the microwave and EMF radiation emitted by these meters is cause for serious health concerns. Utility customers have no say in the mandatory switch to smart meters, but that can change. Call your state rep and senator and tell them they must support House Bill 4220, which ensures the absolute right to have analog meter choice with no cost or penalty for doing so. This message brought to you and paid for by Utility Meter Choice for Michigan. Find us on the web at mysmartmeterdoeswhat.com.
Basic package, advanced package, pro value, federal tax, line fee, admin fee. Tired of the additional fees added to your phone bill? Get elevated. Call ElevateNet to lower your business phone costs to one flat rate bill without all the additional fees. Call 231-492-0602. That's 231-492-0602. Let Elevate Net elevate you.
Truth, justice, in the American way.
If we didn't have carbon dioxide on this planet, you wouldn't be here. You might be here, but you'd be in some other form. You'd possibly be, I don't know, maybe a bacteria that lives in some kind of acid on the side of lava flow and volcano. You wouldn't be driving that Corvette. No, you wouldn't be playing that Fender guitars with that really cool amp. No, you wouldn't be eating that cheeseburger. No. So it's really good that we have carbon dioxide.
It's the one and only Theron X. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 6.
Final segment of today's show, Your Defending Fathers. Got a couple of Facebook comments and a couple of text messages I want to get into the show. One of them said that we need to eliminate Michigan sales tax. They claim that the online purchases to avoid the sales tax is causing us to lose business here in the state of Michigan. Not true. They passed it a couple of years ago. Our sales tax now is charged online purchases. You don't get that break anymore like we used to have. Thank you, Lansing. They did that a couple of years ago. The other component that you're looking at is competition in the states. Every state, except for one, I believe, has a sales tax. Why is that? Sales tax is the most reliable, absolutely where you can calculate and project what your revenue stream is going to be based on your GDP of your state. We know for a fact exactly and have a history to track how much money is spent on food. How much is spent in tourism? How much is spent in clothing? How much is spent on every single consumable item we have a track record of, as do other states. And when you know exactly and are able to predict with almost 100% certainty how much your revenue is going to be, that gives you a rock solid basis for your budget to run your government with. So what we're looking at here is competing where other states have no state income tax. Folks, this is low fruit. This is hanging so far down on the ground, you don't even need a ladder to pick it. You don't even have to get on your tippy toes. We could get this done, but based on current leadership in Lansing, based on Governor Rick Snyder, Lieutenant Governor Brian Calley, Senate Majority Leader Arlen Meekoff, we're not going to get it done with these group of guys. So you got to look forward. You got to look at the next governor of the state of Michigan. You got to look at the next state senators you elect. And again, I'm going to tell them right now, they are going to get behind eliminating our state income tax altogether. If we can't do it by shifting the tax to a slightly higher sales tax, we're going to do it by phasing it out, by cost savings, by running programs more efficiently, by eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse in our state budget like Senator Colbeck's calling for. We're going to do it one of two ways, folks, but we've got to get competitive. And we need people to know this subject so that when you go and hear these politicians these wannabes to get elected, you need to be able to ask them these intelligent questions and put them on the spot. Well, I don't know what the legislation is going to look like. I haven't seen the proposal. I haven't seen the bill yet, so I can't answer whether or not I would support it. Wrong answer. You're done. Well, no. I have to. You can't expect me to tell you I'm going to support something when I don't even see the language. I don't even see how they propose to do it. Yes, I can. This is very simple. Are you for or against eliminating Michigan's state income tax? Yes or no? Forget the mechanics of how we do it. My question is very simple. Do you support eliminating the state income tax? Well, yeah. Okay, good. Now we can talk about plans. We can talk about options. We can talk about how do we accomplish it. But if you're going to give me a wishy-washy, well, I got to see the bill. I got to see what the proposal is. No, sorry. Wrong answer. Not going to support you. Not going to vote for you. And if there's somebody else running against you, I'm going to vote for the other guy if they support eliminating the state income tax. When you consume by purchasing something that you want, something that you are blessing your family with, by buying something that you want, you're choosing that item, you're choosing to pay the tax. Income tax comes automatically out of your paycheck and you have no say about it. You don't get to decide how much of a tax you want to give to Lansing, but when you consume, you do. And maybe you choose to buy a different product over another one simply because of the amount of tax you got to pay on it. That's called free market. This is what we have to look at, folks. So that's the mission statement for the weekend. Think about that. And challenging these politicians. I'm Trucker Randy. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you, God willing, on Monday. Have a great weekend.
This is Cassie. Thank you for listening to Your Defending Fathers.